Yo, it has been a long fucking time, but we're finally back, baby. We're finally back. Today's video, as voted by you guys in my community tab on my YouTube channel, we are going to be discussing how to make your beats sound a lot cleaner. This video is really going to be based on what I have learned in the past few years and how I got out of the habit of my beats sounding cluttered, muddy, or just overall not good. But without further ado, let's load up some Fruity Loops. Now that we have a beat loaded up, I just want to show you guys my mixer channel real quick. Look at the difference in each volume knob. If your volume knob is looking something like this, not good. Each sound has their own dynamics, and some sounds need to be louder and some sounds need to be less loud. You want the perfect balance of cohesion between your drums and your melody. Now let's say I did turn everything to the same level. This is what it would sound like. Sounds pretty bad, right? You could barely hear the kick. The kick was clashing with the 808s, and the melody was just a little too loud. But if your levels are varied, it's gonna sound a lot cleaner, and it sounds like this. A lot cleaner, right? Kick is punchy, it's not clashing with the 808s, and there's a perfect amount of cohesion between the melody and the drums. However, that is not the end all be all. Just because you have varied volume in each track does not mean that your beat is going to sound clean. There are a lot of different aspects that can help your beats to sound clean, which leads me to the next thing I want to talk about, which are soft clippers. Please don't be the guy that just puts a soft clipper on their master. I know it's a very popular thing to do, but just because it's popular doesn't mean it works and doesn't mean it sounds good. That's just me. If you want to keep putting soft clippers on your masters, be my guest. Now, I'm not hating on soft clippers. Soft clippers are really, really useful, especially for this kick here. Say I turn the soft clipper off. Doesn't really make the beat sound at all exciting. It makes it sound very, very weak. You want your kick to punch through. You don't want it to sound weak. You don't want it to sound too strong, and you definitely don't want it to clash with any 808s that are present in the track. But let's say that it was a Zay 808. In that regard, I wouldn't recommend using a soft clipper for any 808 unless it's an 808 by itself and there's no kicks present, with an exception being the Zay 808. With the Zay 808, if you are using a soft clipper, I think it sounds really distorted and it's going to sound way too strong in your track, which will break cohesion and make your track fall apart. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about that I find really common in new producers is that their melodies are fighting for space. They don't know which stem to EQ, they don't know what to EQ, and how that stem should be present in that track. Now, this is fixed with time. EQing can be the biggest difference when it comes to a track being clean or muddy. And the reason is actually very, very simple. If you have a stem in your track that is very heavy in low frequencies, it is quite obviously going to impact the 808. Things will start to clash, and like I said, it will start to break cohesion. EQing should become a habit, whether it's just you monitoring what frequencies are present in that stem, or if you're trying to fix any muddiness or clashing going on in the track. This goes for high frequencies too. If the frequencies in a stem are way too high, that's going to hurt someone's ears. That's going to make somebody listen for 5 seconds and then skip. Arguably the worst of all are the mid frequencies. Mid frequencies can be very, very tough to get right, especially if you're adding, I don't know, a sine wave lead or something similar. And trust me, I've been there. There have been times where I could just not figure out how to EQ a certain stem, and then I would quit and ditch the project. Please be better than me and don't do that. That ruins your workflow and your mentality. Something that I really do recommend, and this is only if you can afford it, a pair of studio quality headphones. Mind you, you will need an audio interface for this because that is what drives the power for the headphones. I highly, highly, highly recommend the Universal Audio Volt 1 audio interface and a pair of the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pros. The DT770 Pros are very flat and they are very, very good for monitoring frequencies. However, once you get better with that, if you want to, I would recommend recommend getting the DT880 Pros. However, these are very heavy on the low frequencies, so you're gonna have to be very careful with mixing the bass. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope this could help some of you and maybe change your view on mixing. All I'm trying to do is to get you guys to be more critical about your work, but not to a point where you're beating yourself up. Basically, just work on your EQing. Don't make everything so flat. Use a soft clipper if you need to. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is what I have learned in the past few years. So again, I really hope it does help some of you. Feels good to be back, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Dude, look at this. This is fucking awesome.